subscribe to the channel, smash that like on that video as well, and get your comments in. And this is going to be basically a bit of a special stream about Trent Alexander-Arnold, because we've seen over the last 24 hours many different kinds of comments, many different opinions on the situation and on what happened at Anfield yesterday when Trent Alexander-Arnold came on. So Trent Alexander-Arnold came on later in the second half for Conor Bradley, and came on as a substitution of 3 players. But as soon as he stepped onto that pitch, we heard a ring of boos around Anfield. It was very, very loud. It was very well known exactly what the Anfield crowd and Liverpool fans thought of Trent Alexander-Arnold. It was a clear message from me of what Liverpool fans think right now about Alexander-Arnold. And I want to address it all. I want to address it all properly on the stream. Professionally, I want to address it from a balanced point of view. I want to address it. I want to look at everything, onto why Liverpool fans feel like this. I want to address people's thoughts and rivals and pundits that have talked about it, say it's a disgrace that Liverpool fans are booing him. I want to explain to everyone why Liverpool fans are feeling like this, and why, me personally, I wouldn't boo myself. But again, I understand exactly how they feel, and I understand why some would. And I want to get this across. I want to make sure this is properly addressed and properly looked at, because I think a lot of pundits, a lot of rivals are missing a lot of points here, missing a lot of reasoning to why Liverpool fans are angry, missing to why Liverpool fans aren't, I won't say upset and angry, but they are absolutely disappointed about what's going on. But some will go to further extremes than others. And that's just human nature in itself. Before I do get onto it, make sure you do smash that like and subscribe to the channel as well. If you are watching live, can you tell me my microphone is working? Because I've got something, a new setup right now. If it isn't working, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I want to address it all. All I've seen in the last 24 hours is, oh, it's a disgrace. The word disgrace, oh, don't they dare boo their own. Jamie Carragher's even said that he shouldn't be booing their own. And all I'm seeing from rivals, all I'm seeing from pundits is, well, he's going to a bigger club. He's going to Real Madrid. Why are you booing him? Because he's going to Real Madrid. And I think they've missed a whole chunk of the story here. I think they've missed a whole chunk of why Liverpool fans are rightly and validly really angry and upset at what's gone on here. They're missing a huge chunk of it, and a valid reasoning to why Liverpool fans are so upset about Trent Alexander-Arnold. Look, let's start with, he is a scouser. He is a Liverpool fan, born and bred, came through the academy. And I'm not sat here saying every scouser, every Liverpool fan, every player that comes through the academy should ever stay at the club forever. Me personally, if I had the chance to play in Liverpool, Trent's living everyone's dream. If I had the chance to play at Liverpool, I think I'm sure many Liverpool fans will say the same thing. I wouldn't go from Liverpool. If I had the chance to play for someone else, I wouldn't do it. And if it was for more money, it's not money this time, but I'm saying I wouldn't do it personally. But I'm also old enough and mature enough and wise enough to know that people don't think like you. People think differently. And it's a very narrow-minded view if you think like that for me. I think if I went, oh, he's a Liverpool fan, he's got to stay. Why shouldn't he stay? I would stay. He's a different person to me. He might not think the way I think. Obviously, he isn't doing. He's going to Real Madrid. But I'm also thinking that is a bit of a bit of a distaste in your mouth. It does leave like a bit of a yeah. Would you leave if you were a Liverpool fan? I personally wouldn't. John, if you are in the chat, John, let me know if my microphone is working. I've got a new setup here, just trying to test it out tonight. But yeah, let me know in the chat if you can hear me or you can't hear me. Let me know in the chat, please, boys. It would be very, very helpful for that. But yeah, I don't expect Trent to stay because of Scouts, because of Liverpool fan, and that's me looking at it openly. And players have got short careers; they've got to live their best career. If Trent Alexander-Arnold feels like he's done all he can at Liverpool, he feels like he's achieved what he wanted as a Liverpool fan, he's achieved, which he pretty much has, then why am I to say, yeah, you can't go there and try something different? It is a new challenge. It is a new challenge for him, and I agree with that. Me personally, I wouldn't do it, but doesn't mean I can say to a Liverpool fan, Trent Alexander-Arnold, you can't do it. He's got his own path to go in. He's got his own path. He's got his own career to make. It is his career, and it is a short career here. He's got to do what's best for him. However, what these pundits and what these rivals seem to missing in this specific situation is everything in between. Why are they upset at Trent for leaving for Real Madrid, the biggest club in the world? Why are they upset for Trent trying a new challenge? They shouldn't be booing him for a new challenge. You're missing a huge, huge reason to why Trent got this. And that's because of everything in between. That's because he has been, I want to use the word slyly talking to Real Madrid behind Liverpool's back for 18 months at least. He's been conjuring this plan, this move for a long, long time. Not only that, in that space of time, he has said he wants to stay at Liverpool. He wants to be the captain of Liverpool. He says this and that. Things can change. His dreams can change. But when you believe that this guy's going to be growing up to be a Liverpool captain, it's set for him to be a Liverpool captain. Then, when you've been told that by himself, he wants to be a Liverpool captain, then you're going to go on that word there, and for him to do a U-turn and say, "Look, I'm off." That is hard to take. That's not just the only thing that's gone on here, though. He's been speaking to Bellingham quite clearly, that close relationship with Bellingham. But we, as Liverpool fans, wanted Bellingham to come to us, and we expected that to happen the other way around, but it hasn't. There's other subtle things in between that has happened and that hasn't happened, that should have happened and shouldn't have happened. He should have told us a long time ago that he was going for money. I think if he was upfront about it all, yes, it would have hurt a lot. I think it would have, again, people would have been thinking, why you want to go to Real Madrid when you're a Liverpool fan, scouser? But then I think people would have took it a lot easier. Like, open-minded people would have took it a lot easier and a lot calmer and say, look, fair enough, it hurts. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you the way you're doing it. But at least you've told us. You're giving us that warning. At least you're not going for free. And I think the free thing, I've already spoken about letting him go for free anyway. I think it's on both the club and Trent with that. As a player, would you want to run your contract down? As a Liverpool fan and a Scouser, would you want to run your contract down and go for free? Or would you want your club to get some money back from it? But then again, the club needs to take responsibility for that, where if they knew about Trent going, which clearly did at least last year, they knew about him going, you're forced to move or you don't play him. You force the situation. You don't let Real Madrid control the narrative here. You don't let Real Madrid control the whole situation, which the club has. And then again, like someone's mentioned in the chat, his brother is doing a few things, is doing a few madness things, laughing at the Carabao Cup final, things like that, liking certain tweets and liking certain things. Very, very, I won't say snaky, but I would use a word a bit like, come on, why are you doing that? He has several things. There's things like the Xabi Alonso tweet, the Xabi Alonso post, which now is something to meaning something behind it potentially now. He did that to the fans. There's been several more things than just, oh, he's going to a better club, or is that and that. Why is everyone upset because he's going to a better club? It's the way he's gone about it. That has upset a lot of Liverpool fans like myself. And the question is, for me, would I boo? No. But what I won't do is have a go at those that do boo. People react different to different things. That's human nature. That is human nature. I can't expect someone to react the same way as me. If someone just an example. Someone cheats on you, for example. You got a partner that cheat on you. Some people might cut up their clothes, as an example. Some people might throw the clothes out the window. I wouldn't do that personally, but you can't expect everyone to react the same way you do. I've worked in like childcare for 20 years of my life. I see, I've worked in schools. If I tell them a piece of news, say like we were expecting a treat on a Friday, ice cream Friday, something like that, and I tell the class, "Oh, sorry, we can't get an ice cream today," I can't expect all those children to react the same way. One might have a meltdown. One might just say, "Okay, fair enough. I'll get an ice cream when I get home." You can't expect people to react the same way you might react. And when people are saying, "Oh, why are they booing? You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that." Keep that same energy for everything else. You can't expect a person, a human, to react the same way as you react. We're all different. I'm upset. I'm very let down by Trent. I'm very disappointed by Trent. There's been many times I've been in conversations with rivals. I've been in conversations with many fans across the country, other clubs and lower league clubs, and I've backed Trent massively in these arguments. And I'll always have respect for Trent in terms of what he's done for Liverpool. He's been one of my favourite players, and I will never, I won't say his legacy is still a legend at Liverpool, but he has tarnished it slightly. But what I will say is that he's massively disappointed. But I wouldn't boo him, but it doesn't mean I would expect everyone else not to boo him, because I wouldn't. Like I said, people react differently. Human beings react differently. Ireland, for example. Declan Rice chose to play for England and in the end over Ireland. Do you expect Irish fans not to boo Declan Rice when they play him? They will do. They'll boo him. And this is what I see about Liverpool. Football fans are passionate. Football fans are full of emotion. Are we trying to take emotion away, and we're trying to take passion away from football fans? In last week, I've seen Joey Barton saying Liverpool fans celebrating why they're celebrating because they haven't won the league title themselves. Now we're seeing, well, you can't boo because you're upset about this player doing this. What are we trying to do here? Take away all emotion, all passion from football fans. Football fans make this sport. Football fans pay the wages of these players. Without football fans, there's no football. And when you're trying to go against these football fans and saying you can't do this, you can't do that. And I'm not saying about people go too far. And this is where I will call things out. If people are going onto Instagram and posting racist comments under a player because they've missed a chance, that's simply not good enough. And that's where you draw the line. That is simply not good enough. Abuse, anything like that. Booing is just a frustration of everything that's built up about what people think of Trent right now and what's happened. Like I said, like someone said in the comments there, but counterproductive to boo your own players. It was, and it certainly was yesterday. Absolutely made a big difference on the game. The whole game, all atmosphere changed. I don't think it helped anything. And that should be maybe Anna Slot has to answer that question in terms of bringing him on. I wouldn't boo personally, but I wouldn't have a go at someone that is just releasing their disappointment and upset in a different way. As long as they don't go too far, as long as they don't throw abuse, because if they abuse Trent, then that is enough. Booing, I think booing's like, it's not abuse, but it's something that I think Trent gets it. And maybe Trent needed that message in a way to understand how he has made Liverpool fans feel. But again, if anyone abuses him, simply not good enough. I'll call you out for it. But one thing I won't like to see is people being told what not to do, how to support. I'm sick of this. You should be a supporter if you do this. You can't criticise. Exactly. I've been told online, I've criticised the club for certain things. You can't criticise the club. That's not being a fan. Yes, it is being a fan. Don't tell me how to support my club. I've supported for 32 years of my life. And that's where we're getting now. That's where we're getting like Rio Ferdinand coming out and saying something. Gary Lineker said something. You're getting rival fans saying we're disgraceful for booing our player. When really it's just frustration. And I think you've just got to understand. You don't have to agree with what they're doing, but it's understanding. And if you don't agree with it, you've got to understand that, like I said, people react differently. People are upset in the same way. For example, if Bukayo Saka were to do the same thing at Arsenal, let his contract run down, go for free to Real Madrid in a couple of years, and did it slyly and did it snakily and in the background and didn't tell you about it, and exactly the same way Trent's done it, there will be Arsenal fans that will boo Bukayo Saka. There will be some that won't, but the rest of them will be certainly upset and disappointed massively by it, and they will be angry by it. And that's where hypocrisy comes in. And as I said regarding Declan Rice plays for England now. It should, he went from Ireland to England. He will be booed by Irish fans. And that's what football's about. It's about emotion, about passion, about you feel hurt by being betrayed. And it has been betrayed. Him going to Real Madrid is a bit of a betrayment because they are a rival. And when people say Real Madrid are a rival, I'm sorry, Real Madrid are more of a rival to me than Arsenal. In terms of the times we've played them, in terms of European success, they are me. I can't stand Real Madrid. But it is a slight betrayal for him going to Real Madrid because it is a rival for me. But it's not just that; it is everything that comes with it. And like I said, I'm a massive, massive fan of Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I'll never hate on Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'm disappointed in him. I'm let down by how he's done it. I won't ever hate him. Football's not that deep. Human beings aren't that deep. I won't ever. I put humans first, and I put humans first before anything else. And football, like I said, football is not that deep. So I wouldn't hate a person for just over football going to a different club. I'll take him as a human being first. But to criticize people for booing when they are massively, massively let down, let them react how they need to react. Like I said, as long as they don't go too far with abuse, things like that, then you don't need to say anything. And we've got to be very careful as well what you do say and what you do in terms of how you're viewing this situation. Because I heard earlier, I'm watching the clip from DR Sports. I know Alex from Cop TV was on it. Obviously, he was talking about it. And was it Laurie from AFTV? He said, well, is it a racism thing? That you should not be saying. Because I tell you one thing, this is not a racism thing. And if it was, I would be the first to call it out. And what you're doing there, though, bringing racism into it, is you are making a mockery of the fight against racism by bringing it to this when it's clearly not anything to do with race. Because the same happened to Owen, the same happened to McManaman. This is nothing to do with race. And if it was, like I said, I would be the first to call it out. Don't bring something like that into this situation to make it a thing that doesn't need to be. Because what that is doing then is mocking massively the fight against racism. It really is. So be very careful in terms of that. Don't be bringing racism into this because it's not racism at all. What it is this guy is a scouser, Liverpool fan. He is going to Real Madrid for free. He's ran down his contract. He's going to a big rival for me for free. And he's done it in completely the wrong way. Completely the wrong way. And I think other fans will react the same way if it was exactly the same person for their clubs, for them ones that are coming through the academy and doing it the same way. They'd be exactly the same. There'd be lots booing and there'd be lots exactly the same feelings as me where I'm upset and I'm let down. But one thing I won't be doing is saying you shouldn't be booing. If it did happen to Bukayo Saka, for example, just an example, and Arsenal fans boo, I won't say don't boo. They have every right to boo. Liverpool is a club, and Liverpool and football clubs in general are more than just clubs. It's a passion. It's like a religion. And when you're betrayed like that, it does hurt, and you are gonna, like I said about earlier, if you cheat on somebody, talking behind someone's back as a partner, you can't expect flowers when you come home when they find out that you've been cheating on them. You got to face the consequences. And what happened yesterday is Trent facing the consequences, and he must have expected that. It will hurt him if he wants to go there and that. And I think in the end, I think in a few years' time, when he looks back on it all, I think he would love to do things differently. I think he would have been more open and honest with us. But all that was yesterday was the consequences that he's facing of doing how he's done it. And that he's got to face the consequence. He's got to listen to that. And if it hurts him, then that's just the way. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. And like I said, I don't want people to get hurt. I don't want people. But at the end of the day, he's done what he's done, and the way he's done it is simply not acceptable. And yesterday were the consequences that came with it. If you go behind your partner's back and speak to other people and cheat on them, expect the consequences at the end. It's as simple as that. You can't just walk out in the back door and think, "Oh, that's it. Nothing's ever going to come of this. Get out as well as you can." That's what Trent probably wanted to happen. Go out the back door. Don't say anything until the end of the season, and just go, and then that's it. But it doesn't work like that. And Liverpool for me is, when I talk about Ireland and Grealish and Ireland and Rice, they're going to boo Grealish and Rice when they play England. Liverpool is like, when they say Scouse, not English, it is like a me against the world. It is like a country where if you go against us, then you aren't. I think like I said, I think it would have been more accepted if he was much more honest with us, and he didn't do it how he did it. I'd accept it personally. If he wants to go to Real Madrid, try a new challenge, fair enough. I don't agree with it. Again, I don't agree. I don't have to agree with it, but I understand it. That's the difference. You don't have to agree with what's going on, but you've got to understand it. I don't agree with what Trent's done. In terms of, I don't agree with him going to Real Madrid, but I understand it. These people, these rivals, these pundits, don't have to agree with the booing. Just understand it. I don't personally agree with the booing. I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't boo myself. But what I won't do is tell them not to boo. What I won't do is say they're wrong for booing. These people react how they react as human beings. If they're upset in a certain way and they feel betrayed the way they have, and they have been betrayed here by one of their own, then they have every right to boo. Will I forgive Trent for what he's done? But football's not that deep. Again, football is not that deep. I'll be honest, it's not that deep. Do I need to forgive Trent? Not really. At the end of the day, it's football. Football's football. He hasn't done anything absolutely inhumanly insane. But at some point, I hope he does realise at some point in his life, and I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. I'm hoping at one point in his life he does realise he did do it the wrong way. He shouldn't have done it that way. Fair enough. He made the right decision to go to Real Madrid. If he goes on to and get a better career from there, then fair enough. But it's his way has gone about it, and I think he'll know himself. And if he hasn't had a wake up call yet, in terms of that, yes, his reaction might be that. Do I think he should have been brought on yesterday? I'm in the mix of that, because Arne Slot did say that he brought him on because he wanted to win the game. You bring one of your best players on who can create chances, and I get that. And I wanted to win the game myself. I don't like dropping points, even though we have won the league. I want to keep our momentum going. I want to keep the standards up there. And then I'm thinking, does Arne Slot bring him on to prove a point there? Like, there you go, Trent. This is what you've done to the fans. I think the best thing would have been to leave him on the bench, or not even to take him. Not even to take him in the squad. Because that was always going to happen. That boo was always going to happen. What that did then, it rocked the whole game. I think Arsenal controlling the game anyway, if talking about the game. But I think the whole atmosphere changed. We're supposed to be in a party mood right now. We're supposed to be celebrating our 20th title. And it's been completely overshadowed. The whole game, the whole moment right now, the whole feeling of being champions has been completely overshadowed by the Trent situation. That's what it feels like. What I want to see now, the next two games, and certainly the parade, is nothing like that again. I want to see a good atmosphere. I want to see us just celebrating that title. Will he talk at the parade? I don't even know. I don't want to see boos at the parade, though. Even if he does talk, I don't want to see boos at the parade, because that parade is supposed to be for us as fans to celebrate. Again, if there were boos, I won't say you shouldn't boo, but I don't want to see them. I want to see it just be a party. I want to see Liverpool fans coming together and being the fan base that I absolutely love. The fan base that it's a big reason why I'm a Liverpool fan. Is the city of Liverpool and what being a Liverpool fan means. Booing at the parade would just completely ruin that for me. I think we do need to just enjoy this 20th title. Hopefully the team improve their performances, because the last two games I don't think we've been good enough. About 15 minutes yesterday, possibly. But I want to see that party. I want to see that energy back in those Liverpool fans again. And don't let this Trent situation take over what has been an unbelievable season. And it could easily do that if we're late happen. I just hope Trent at some point does understand that these boos or this reaction from Liverpool fans is nothing but frustration. There are people that will go too far out there. I'm not going to come on here and call him a rat, blah, 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 this and that. At the end of the day, human beings are human beings. Like I said, football is not that deep for me. It's a passion, but I won't go on here. I feel hurt and betrayed by his decision and the way he's done it. But I'm not going to go on here and I think he's done something snaky. He's not a snake, but I think he's done something very, very snaky. I think he'll know it himself. That's the thing. I think he'll know it himself. And if it hasn't kicked in yet, I think yesterday was a big wake-up call for him. And hopefully it has. I hope I've said anything what I want to say there. And I just think pundits and rivals alone, I think if they're not going to sit out of the conversation, is listen and understand why Liverpool fans feel like this, or don't say anything at all. Because you're missing out a big chunk. It's not because it's just going to Real Madrid. It's more than that. And you're missing that out. Do you think he'll play any more games, says John here, for the season? I don't think so. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I honestly didn't think he'd play yesterday until he brought him on. But knowing what I saw yesterday, knowing now the atmosphere absolutely changed, does Arne Slot do that? Again, I don't know. Me personally, I wouldn't. It's just a really sad ending to what could have been an unbelievable career for Trent. And people saying, "Oh, why is he going when we're winning league titles?" Again, I'm very worried about if FSG go again for me. They've proven in the past that they're happy to stand still when we are top. So I don't. If Trent's looking at more ambition behind the club, then I can't question that, because I question the ambition of this club myself. But again, he has said in the past, look, it means more winning one trophy with Liverpool than it does with 6 trophies with another club. It means more. This is why it makes no sense again for him to go anyway. Steve says it's Arne's fault for being on T. I think it'd be interesting to see what Arne says in the next press conference actually about this. So he'll be certainly asked about it. I don't want TA to be involved in the last 2 games or the bus parade. Get him gone to Madrid ASAP. See, I don't want him to be involved in the 2 games, but I think he should be involved in the parade. I've got to be honest here. He has played a big part in us being successful, and most of the season he's been brilliant. About a couple of games, Man United game massively, absolutely disgusting in his performance. But I won't kick him off the parade. I wouldn't. Again, that's just me being a human being first before anything else. There's a right way and wrong way to leave LFC, and TA did it wrong way. His brother Tyler's the main guy wanted a Madrid move. Madrid get another world-class player on free as well, run club, and we have to give them the flowers for this. Madrid, absolutely, they ran the whole narrative. They basically loaned us out Trent for a year. But this is why I think the club needs to take some responsibility for him going for free. Because last year, they should have said, well, you're either going now, you can sell it, and if Real Madrid don't buy you, you're not playing for the year. You force the stuff. And if Trent then goes to Real Madrid saying, well, they're not going to play me for a year, can you get me now? It might force them. We've got to control that narrative. He's still our player here. I'm sick of people telling me how to feel about a player I've spotted since I was 10. Exactly that. And we've absolutely supported Trent. Like I said, he's still one of my favourite players. I've backed this guy in so many debates, so many arguments with people. And I do want him to do well personally, as a person. Like I won't forget the time he has, the brilliance he has done for Liverpool. Without Trent, we don't win that Champions League final. Without Champions League, you know what I'm saying? In 2019, sorry. It's the corner doesn't happen. I reckon Trent was booed because he's leaving on a free to Real Madrid, just a guess though. It's counterproductive, yeah, exactly there. I totally agree, I'm Irish. I can't stand Rice or Grealish for not choosing England, Ireland or England. Exactly there, John. I'm not going to tell Irish people not to boo Grealish or Rice. You've got every right. If you feel betrayed by their choice, then you feel betrayed by their choice. As simple as that. We move on. Good evening, Naj. How are we doing, mate? We move on from Trent. Owen McManaman, Trent, and will stay. I support Liverpool, not players. Players come and go. Exactly that. Always support my team, no matter what. Yeah, it did ruin the atmosphere, Naj. It absolutely did. It was massive, massive change. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but like I said, some people go too far. And when people go too far, I'll be the first to call it out. I think everyone's entitled to their opinion to a limit. Like if someone's racist, that's too far. That's what I'm saying. If someone's racist or abusive, then it's not, I'm entitled to an opinion. I can be that because I'm entitled to an opinion. No go for me. But there's limits. And I think booing's not a limit that reaches for me. Said it was a disgrace. Stephen McCall said it was a disgrace. I wasn't too happy myself about the booing. Could spook all the other players too. I think it did. I think it did actually affect the other players as well. You could see they weren't happy about it. But like Robert said, like Anna Slot said, I can't tell them how I feel. Robert said himself, look, I feel something about it, but I can't tell others how they feel. I can't expect them to feel the same way. And that's exactly what I've said tonight. You can't expect people to feel it. People are different. It's a narrow-minded view to expect people to think like you. Trent is a Liverpool fan, scouser. He wants to go to Real Madrid. Me personally, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't. But I'm not immature and I'm not narrow-minded to where I think you've got to think like me. And it's the exact same thing with the booing. You might not agree with it, Ria, or anyone else that's spoken about it. You might not agree with it, but you've got to understand it. We need investment to push on with major trophies like PL and UCL every season. Win-win-win mindset. Free Galacticos in this era of football. Real Madrid. Yeah, Real Madrid are just. I don't know why anyone would support Real Madrid. I still can't believe for the life of me. 3 weeks ago, Liverpool fans were cheering Real Madrid against Arsenal. Where's this rivalry come from Arsenal? Yeah, there's a lot of Arsenal fans that are deluded out there, and they deserve the smoke they're getting now, by the way. But it doesn't mean I'm going to spot Real Madrid over them. Not a chance. It may spook the players long term, not just the match. It potentially, actually, Palo. It could do. It depends how they feel, doesn't it? We don't know how the players feel. Like Robbo said, he feels something about the situation, but we don't know what that feeling is. Well, does Robbo feel? Does these players like Robbo feel let down? Robbo's been a very good friend of Trent over the years. Him and they're both going for the assist record. They got on so well. Does he feel let down by Trent? We don't know. He certainly feels sad. He'll certainly feel. He certainly still have a good relationship with him. When you're friends, you're friends. For me, unless they do something in the friendship group to break that friendship. But in terms of him choosing Real Madrid, he ain't going to lose the friends at Liverpool. But how do they feel about the move? They could be. You don't know how they feel. We need to stop these free transfers by FSG. We need investment and ambition. That's a big. I think that's the thing. The reason why, again, people saying it's all on Trent because he's going for free. Trent's not the first player to go for free. It's constantly under FSG. It could be happening to Kanate again. I hope they've learnt from it. Because if Kanate is going to go for free next year, we've got to sell him this summer. Me personally, if we sell Kanate, we've got to bring 2 centre backs in. Because I think we need a centre back already. But that won't happen. Under FSG, we're sell to buy. We'll sell Kanate and bring 1 centre back in. Rather than adding to the squad and making it stronger, we just replace and potentially going back because there's not many centre backs out there better than Kanate. Huijsen's brilliant potential, but he's not better than Kanate yet. So, are we building on this success? Are we standing still or going backwards? That's a big question that needs to be asked this summer for me. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Trent situation. I mean, I'm really hurt about the situation. I'm not going to cry myself to sleep or anything like that, but I think every fan has the right to feel the way they need to feel. And again, there's lines crossed. If they go to abuse, then that's simply not good enough for me. As soon as abuse comes in, I get abused on Twitter for my opinion sometimes. And once they throw the abuse out, I'll say, well, you just basically ruined your whole argument beforehand because you're starting to throw abuse now. I don't take them seriously for throwing abuse. And anyone that does throw abuse, I'll call them out for it. But what I won't do is say they can't do something, can't feel a certain way when they're not in the same situation. People are human beings. People react. Everyone is different on this planet Earth. Everyone reacts to different things differently. Everyone's brought up differently. So the reaction's going to be different. You can't expect people to react the same way as you do. You might not agree with their reaction, but you can't say you can't do this, you can't do that. That's how they feel. That's how they're expressing their feelings. And that's exactly what we saw yesterday. Their expression of their hurt and their anger towards Trent and his decisions. Not just his decisions, like I said, is the way he's acted about it. And I think that telling people they can't boo is basically stopping emotion in football. Stopping fans being fans. And fans make football. Constantly sell to buy, exactly, Dash. I'm bored of it. Life goes on. It's all about money. They don't care about club. These FSG ownership. I think the thing is, right, if FSG actually have a good summer and they do back Arne Slot, I'll be the first person to praise them for it. Do I have faith in them doing that? No, because we've seen in the past that they won't. They let Klopp down massively for me. And they're already now saying, look, the contracts are part of a big summer. They shouldn't be part of the big summer. The contract should have been done 2 years ago. At least 6 months ago. It shouldn't be nothing to do with this summer. It shouldn't have been left that late to be part even close to the summer. So it shouldn't be part of the summer at all, the contracts for me. What I want to ask the chat, guys, what I want to ask you guys in the chat is, how do you think Trent Alexander-Arnold will get on at Real Madrid? Because obviously Xabi Alonso's going across, is going to be played 3-4-3, so he will play like a wing-back role, which I think will suit him, if I'm honest. But we've seen what Real Madrid do to their players when they play poor. And all this revisionism, Trent's going now, I can finally say he can't defend. He can defend. I'm not going to change my opinion on my Trent. Otherwise, that tells me I was lying before. And on this channel, I'll never lie. I'll always be honest with my feelings. If I think someone's shit in a certain thing, I'll tell you they're shit. If I think someone's been poor or been good, I'll tell you they've been poor or been good. I won't change my opinion because they've gone to somewhere else. Trent can't defend now because he's going to Real Madrid. I still think he can defend. He's not a world-class defender. Everyone knows that. But he's certainly not as bad as what people make out to be. I'm not changing my opinion on that just because of Real Madrid. That's just me being dishonest before, because I've seen bigger Liverpool cats saying that. I've seen a Liverpool cat saying that. Oh, I can finally say it. Trent can't defend now. So that tells me that in the past you've been dishonest with your things. I can't take you seriously now forever. You've got to be truthful. And you've got to be honest with your opinions. If you're not going to stand by your opinion, don't give one. I still think Trent can defend. Got a big thing to work on it in terms of his. I think he's a bit lazy at times. I think he's not aware at times, and this is why when we had the argument about him going into midfield, I couldn't believe that I saw people. A lot of, in fact, the majority of the fan base wanted Trent in midfield, and I said, "Do you not watch him play football? His awareness is not there sometimes with people behind him. He's got no chance in midfield if he's lacking awareness. In front of him, one of the best players in the game. He's got one of the best 180 visions in the league. But a 360, you need a 360 vision in midfield. It's a completely different role to right back. Trent needs the pitch in front of him, and he's the best at the pitch in front of him. His long balls, his crossing, his ability to find players everywhere across the pitch needs to be in front of him. Playing midfield is not the way to go, and I couldn't believe how many people wanted him in midfield. I did a stream on it actually with I don't know if anyone knows Ollie, the Crystal Palace fan Ollie on TikTok. I did a stream with him for LSC Transfer Room about right back or midfielder for England. We were talking about it for England. And I said, there's no way he's a midfielder. And then the England game comes around, he played in midfield, and what happens? He loses the ball several times because he doesn't have the awareness around him. It was obvious to me. He's a right back. He always has been a right back. And I'm so glad we didn't experiment midfield in Liverpool, because it would have hurt us a lot as well there as well. But yeah, I think just go play football. You'll understand what the difference between a right back and a midfielder is massively. He's dealing with FSG, so he might have to be canny about the contract. Real Madrid want him to play in Club World Cup. Well, Real Madrid can go fuck themselves. Real Madrid can go fuck themselves. If they want him for the club, they've already ran this now. They've already controlled this story so far. What we've done here, we've just kept Trent for another year for Real Madrid. It's basically like they have loaned him out to us for a year. That's what it feels like. They had this lockdown last year with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Go play for Liverpool for another year. You can come to us for free. And you think I'm letting Real Madrid have him early, having their way again? There's not a chance we should let Trent go for $1 million as well. That's an insult. All right, you can have him for free. You can have him early if you want. Give us Valverde. There's no way we should let Trent go early to Real Madrid, because what that is Real Madrid getting their way again. They've got enough of their way now. Trent needs a couple of extra seconds set up passes. Exactly that. You don't get that in midfield. You do not get that in midfield. And anyone that said Trent could be a midfielder clearly have not played a game of football. They can't have. Certainly not in midfield. It's a completely different game. I'm saying, I think he can play midfield in certain games. How about that? I think he can play in certain midfield. That's why it worked again against. Did he play England playing Malta? He had a brilliant game midfield. He played like man of match against Malta. But against Malta, he's going to have time on the ball. They're not even attacking him. You don't get that in midfield most of the time. Why did cheap FSG allow TAA to leave on free if they're selling him? I said, look, like, if the club knew about this like a year ago, which I think they have done, I think they've sort of accepted that's the case. Then you either force the move or you just drop him completely. Call his bluff a little bit. Real Madrid refurbished the stadium, getting players for free. They're getting the good players for free though. Mbappe and Trent. Wow. And now they're looking at Kanate, they're looking at Saliba. Maybe that's just the way going forward now, getting players for free. I can't stand Real Madrid. I can't stand Real Madrid at all. At all. But yeah, regarding Trent going forward now in the next few matches, I don't really want to see him. Not for his sake, in terms of I don't want to see him and he has to go through that again. I just think it ruins the whole atmosphere. I think it ruins the whole. We're champions now. We want to celebrate. We want to enjoy the time. And I think you could tell Anfield just went yesterday. I don't think it helped that the team were getting controlled in the second half. Arsenal controlled that game second half. But the atmosphere getting up right now is what we deserve and what we need as a fan base. We need to celebrate this 20th title. We need to enjoy this 20th title. Or we're giving rivals what they want as well. They've said it's a meaningless title. We're giving them that by concentrating all on Trent. We don't want to be doing that now in the next couple of games. It's done. Trent's gone. Put it in the past. It's done. Put a lock on it. Put a seal on it. Now we focus on this team and focus on the future now. I'm hoping they don't boo. I won't have a go for booing. They've made the point now. Those that have booed, they've made the point for me. So in the next coming games, I think you don't need to. If he comes on, then we don't need to do it. Certainly at the parade, do not ruin that atmosphere. For me, we need to keep that we are champions atmosphere. We are a party atmosphere. Let's celebrate what we've done this season because it's been an incredible season. I don't want it to come to an end like this. I think the whole Trent situation and the whole Trent, his career has come to a sad end with Liverpool, but I don't want our season to come to a sad end the way that is. And it doesn't help if we don't get results as well. I want to win some games here. I want to win the last 2 games and get that good vibe back again. Otherwise the season just peters out. That's what it feels like. If FSG sold TA last summer for 50 million, that would have allowed LLC to spend 100 million without breaking FFP. TA a homegrown player. Darwin Núñez was close when he came on. I did a match reaction earlier for yesterday's Abdul. Yeah. I think the changes, again, we've spoke about Núñez and Jota earlier. It's just they're not offering anything at the moment. Absolutely nothing. So there's, it wouldn't surprise them if Jota and Núñez both went in summer. Next season we go on and win EPL and UCL. I think what happens next season is down to us, is up to us now. And I said for a long time, this is why when I did the preview, the Arsenal Liverpool preview on when did I do it? Friday, I think I did it. It was out Saturday. I did predict 2-2 to be the result. And the reason why I say that is because I knew Arsenal wasn't that far behind us in terms of abilities. The points gap doesn't tell me the whole story. What I see with my eyes tells me the story. And Arsenal aren't that far behind us for me. And they proved that yesterday. And it's always saying, Liverpool on holiday. Arsenal just been beaten in the Champions League semi-final. Their confidence is down there. So as much as our heads are up there on holiday, their heads are down there after midweek. I just don't think they're that far behind us, Arsenal. And what happens this summer is absolutely crucial for us either staying ahead or Arsenal catching us up. If we want to stay ahead in the league, we've got to stay ahead in the whole game. We've got to stay ahead in the transfers. We've got to stay ahead. We've got to go stronger. We can't expect to stay ahead by standing still again. And this is what happened in 2020. We won the Champions League, we won the league, and we stood still. We can't let that happen again, because if it happens again, then not only Arsenal get past us, other teams come past us. Exactly what happened the first time. We didn't just stand still and Man City take over us. We stood still and ended up coming 5th within a few years. That's simply not acceptable, Liverpool. And again, no one is expecting to win the league every year. But what we should do is doing everything we can off the pitch to ensure that we can win the league every year on the pitch. We should be favourites next season. It's up to us in the transfer window to remain favourites. Because if we don't Say if we just get a left back and a striker, Arsenal go get another winger, maybe a striker. They get Zubimendi already, and then maybe go and get another creator. That could easily make them favourites. I don't think they're that far behind us in terms of how good they are, especially if they keep the players fit as well. I don't think they're that far behind us at all. So if they sign those quality players and we only get like a left back or a striker, replacing and we let several players go, then that for me could easily make them favourites. And that's up to us. We need to ensure that we stay ahead by being proactive this summer and signing quality. Arsenal signed 3 quality players, number 6, wide attacker, striker. They will be dangerous. We need 4 signing quality signs also. I agree, Steve. I think they are very dangerous. They've got a very, very good defence. Their midfield's brilliant. Declan Rice especially. Bukayo Saka's always a threat. I don't know why rivals like hate on Bukayo Saka, saying he's not good and things like that. He's absolutely fantastic. Every time we've played him, is been unreal. He's a brilliant player. I think he needs more help. Can he get to that world class? I think he's borderline world class, but I think he gets that world class status more so with a bit more help behind him. You know, Gerrard had to do it a lot by himself. Gerrard couldn't win the Premier League title because he didn't have help behind him. Saka needs that help in terms of the forward positions anyway. Fact 1, Liverpool are the best team in the land. Fact 2, Liverpool are currently the best team in the land. Fact 3, these players are the best there is, and they go again. I think we are the best team right now in the land, but I just don't think it's that big of a gap as the points say so, if that makes sense. And we've got to make sure we stay ahead by the transfers we make this summer. I think it's a very, very important summer for both Liverpool and Arsenal. I think Man City are a little bit far behind. Man City and Liverpool and Arsenal right now, if I'm honest. Having watched them against Southampton on Saturday, I just thought they offer nothing for me. They just want to keep the ball. FSG don't sign any quality players this summer. Arsenal sign 3, they finish above us. Then that's what I think could happen. It's up to us to ensure we do enough to stay at the top. But like I said, Steve, we have in the past been happy to stand still, and that shouldn't happen at Liverpool Football Club. It really shouldn't. So yeah, we've got Brighton next time. We're Brighton away on the Monday night, and then we've got Crystal Palace at home on the last game. So whatever happens this summer, guys, whatever happens to Liverpool the rest of the season, all I ask you to do is to subscribe to the channel, and we will give you updates constantly. Throughout the summer, we will give you all the transfer updates, all the rumours, all the reports. Anything breaking comes out, I'll make sure I'm here to tell you all. Anything Liverpool content, I will make sure I can get it out for you guys as well. We do more than just normal Liverpool content. We're doing more than just news. We give you different kind of Liverpool content. I'm trying to keep it as fun as I can as well at times. It's not all doom and gloom regarding transfers. I want to keep it fun and I want to keep it fresh for you guys at home. Thank you everyone that has subscribed so far. Thank you everyone that has liked the video so far. Thank you everyone that has commented. Everyone again tonight that's come in the comments. Absolutely. I appreciate you all so much. Am I going to the parade, Steve? I'm hoping to. I'll let you know a bit closer to the parade time if I am going to. I do want to though. I certainly do want to. I'm just trying to get a couple of things sorted to make sure I can go. But yeah, I will absolutely. Slot cost Liverpool yesterday. I think Arsenal are the better team in the end. I do, and I think if they didn't get the send off, they could have gone and got a winner. I think that 15 minutes of flourish that we should have scored a couple more. I think that ruthlessness of Liverpool in that 15 minutes when we scored the 2 goals. That's the ruthlessness I saw under Klopp, and that's what I love to see. I think we needed to keep that going, but we didn't, and we paid the price for it in the end. Arsenal, for me, controlled the game then after that. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching so far. Thank you everyone for commenting, liking, and subscribing as well. Make sure you do smash the like on the video. Helps us out absolutely. I couldn't even tell you how much it helps us out just smashing that like button. That's if you do like the content anyway. You can hit it if you want, but if you don't like the content, let me know in the comments. But I appreciate everyone that has come on as well and subscribed so far. And I will speak to you all tomorrow live at 7 again for hopefully Liverpool news tomorrow. Not talking about Trent tomorrow, hopefully. And tomorrow I will be talking again back to the Liverpool news and general news at 7 o'clock. So make sure you do smash that like, subscribe to the channel, and get notification bells on as well. I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Thank you for watching, and good night.